is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Hey, what up? Happy Monday. Welcome. Jason Walker Show inside the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave. Got a pretty good show today. Well, we always have a good show. We're going to talk to Ryan Schulte, Helena High Bengal softball coach, about the weekend up in Great Falls. Also, going to check in with Jeff Choate, former Montana State Bobcat, current Texas Longhorn co-defensive coordinator. And we're going to talk about the NFL draft with him, about the Bobcats. It was a great weekend for Montana State, University of Montana as well. And we'll talk about the draft here in a second. You can watch the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, TreasureStateRadio.com, and more. Big weekend, as we mentioned, Friday night, Troy Anderson being drafted in the second round, and then you had Daniel Hardy get drafted in the 7th round. And then you had some free agent signings, undrafted free agents. We'll talk about that here in a second. Samori Toure, former Grizz, drafted as well in the 7th round. He's going to the Green Bay Packers. And after leaving Montana and heading to Nebraska, it was that's why. I mean, the dude wanted a chance. He's got it. Congratulations. If you want to weigh in on anything, you can at JWalkerSports on the Twitter. You can email Jason at jasonwalkershow.com as well. The opening segment brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. 50-plus years experience, the finest craftsmen available in Montana, building you a home crafted to last for generations. And the 3 divisions, milled, handcrafted, and timber frame. You can check them out, yourcustomlog.com, to get started today. So Troy Anderson gets drafted in the 2nd round. It was pretty cool when Warwick Dunn got up, the former Atlanta Falcon, and read Troy's name, and it was pretty cool. If you got a chance to see it, you know what I'm talking about. And, I mean, look, Troy Anderson, great kid, obviously, and hard worker. We all know that. And, I mean, it's well-deserved. And we said it for the last few years, you know, that Troy Anderson at one point was the best NFL linebacker prospect playing quarterback or running back. And, I mean, it's pretty cool. General manager of the Falcons, Arthur Smith, the head coach of the Falcons, very excited about Troy Anderson. I mean, he did it all, right? Running back, outside linebacker, quarterback, inside linebacker. He went 58th overall. And I mean, it's pretty darn cool. And that's just a great way to say it. You know, he went in the 2nd round. Big Sky Freshman of the Year as a running back. He was All-America as a quarterback. And Defensive Player of the Year for a team that went to the national championship game. 4.42 40 at the combine. And it's pretty darn impressive. A kid from Dillon, Montana. And excuse me, one of the reporters in the press conference on Friday down with the Falcons, the reporter said, "Is he the type of player you look and say, you know, I see him here, or do you see him strictly as a linebacker?" And Coach Smith said, "Why do you say strictly? Are you asking if you're going to use us, or if we're going to use him in quarterback?" And GM said, "Well, they said it on TV." So the running back coach is Michael Petrie for the Atlanta Falcons, and was at MSU. So they're going to use him at linebacker, and that's where he's going to excel in the NFL. Now, we don't have a crystal ball. We can't say whether he's going off, to have a, 15-year career. But we wish him all the best for sure. And then you've got, other Bobcats. Daniel Hardy getting drafted by the LA Rams, telling 406mtsports.com that it still doesn't feel real. And we'll hear more about Hardy from Jeff Choate when he joins the show here in a little bit. And, Samori Toure drafted by the Packers. And that's, pretty awesome too. And the Packers draft class includes North Dakota State's Christian Watson at 34 overall, who was really good. And Torrey had a great career with the Grizz, almost 2,500 yards, 20 touchdowns before he went off to Nebraska for his last season. 900 yards, 5 touchdowns for the Cornhuskers in 2021. And just another Grizz that is going to have a nice career, I think, in the NFL, which is another cool deal. And then you had Lance McCutcheon signing with the Rams, and Trey Webb is getting a chance as well as an undrafted free agent. So lots of great talent from the area. Oh, and then Dylan Cook. Let's not forget him. Dylan Cook had a fantastic high school career. The kid's an absolute stud. Lewis Kidd, the other Bobcat, by the way, offensive lineman. And Coach Schultz can talk about him too. But Dylan Cook, he put on some weight to become a great offensive lineman. And he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, played with MSU Northern, was there for a couple of years, and then walked on with Montana, where he started 23 times and earned some good honors. He was a semifinalist for the Campbell Trophy, the Academic Heisman, of which Troy Anderson also was nominated. But that's really cool that all those players getting a chance in the NFL. And they're going to have to work their tails off. Just because they got drafted or got signed doesn't mean a thing yet. They've got to work their butts off. And they will. They will. Because they're all good dudes. Really happy for all of them. Auto Contest Performance of the Week coming up. Some nominees. How about Dakota Louis winning PBR in Billings, the Unleash the Beast, the Browning Cowboy. His first Unleash the Beast tour victory, and it moves into number 22 in the standings. So he gets to go to the PBR World Finals now in 2 weeks down in Texas. He rode fantastic. He was ranked 39th on the weekend, and now he's 22nd. Had a 91-point winner in the final ride, and just had a great weekend all the way around. To get the win, top 35 all head off to the World Finals 5 wild cards as well, but Louis is in solidly. Grabbed the lead with an 85.75 ride, and selected a Trail of Tears in the championship round, and got the big win. So good on him. Let's see some other nominees for your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week that I saw. The Montana lacrosse team had a very nice weekend, as we find that story. They're heading off to nationals after winning the PNCLL tournament down in Caldwell, Idaho, the Pacific Northwest Collegiate Lacrosse League. And the 12th ranked Grizz now heading off to the national championships. Beat Northwest Nazarene 18-7 in the semifinals, and then beat the College of Idaho with and got the win 13-12. The Yotes were number 1 in the division and 10-0 on the season, and the Grizzlies got the win. So congratulations to them. Great track efforts over the weekend. Duncan Hamilton, I think the 14th fastest time in the world this year in the steeplechase. Lucy Corbett, like the number 5 high jump in the country in the NCAA. Both Big Sky Athletes of the Week for Montana State. And just good softball over the weekend in the high school ranks. Of course, you had the East-West crossover up in Great Falls. Capital falling for the first time in, 7 or 8 games. Had a 7-game win streak snapped, I think. And really good softball as well. So it was fun. It was a fun weekend. Hope you had a good weekend. Had the little one's birthday. Golfed 36 holes on Saturday with some buddies, and then had the little one's birthday yesterday. She turned 4, so happy birthday to the little one. We went to the carousel here in Helena and had the place to ourselves with a bunch of her schoolmates and some other friends as well, and their kids, and it was fun. The carousel's a good time. You can only go so many times in a row if you're an adult, I think, before you start to feel the effects. The kids had no problems. The only time after they would stop the carousel in between rides, and there was 10 to 15 kids there, 4 and 5-year-olds, but all they wanted to do was just switch animals and then just keep going. It was a lot of fun. So happy birthday to the little one. And then she got a bike for her birthday. So went around the block, 4 times yesterday after we got back, and then had a very nice birthday dinner. And it's cool. It's cool to see, the little one's eyes light up every time something cool happens. So it was a fun weekend. Hope you had a good one as well. And you can weigh in on the draft, on the high school sports. Good tennis over the weekend, too. I did see the Bozeman schools, so Bozeman High Gallatin and then Capital Helena High duels for tomorrow down in Bozeman have been postponed because of potential weather. And Bozeman's under a winter weather advisory above 6,000 feet tonight and tomorrow night. It's spring in Montana, right? Speaking of spring in Montana, spring football is wrapped up. Well, spring football is wrapped up across the country, and that includes at the University of Texas. But the recruiting never stops. Unless you're D1 basketball this week, you can't recruit. But great recruiter, great coach, Jeff Choate will join the show coming up. We'll talk about the NFL draft and his former Bobcats. Also, Ryan Schulte is going to talk about Helena High softball's weekend and preview a big week this week in the Western Division with 3 games in 5 days. So we'll talk to Ryan Schulte coming up. Also, your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. If you want to weigh in on some nominees, you absolutely can. And also on this day in history coming up, the walk-off. Much more still to come on a Monday. The Jason Walker Show opening segment in the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave is brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes. They are family-owned, veteran-owned, woman-owned, and fantastic people, and build amazing log homes. And it's the log home of your dream. It's crafted to last for generations. They'll work with your budget. They have their own floor plans, or you can bring one in, and they will get it done. And they'll travel to your build site as well. And I think the smallest square footage is 700 square feet, but you can go, their largest right now is 30,000 square feet under roof. Check them out at yourcustomlog.com to get started today. Jeff Choate, University of Texas, co-defensive coordinator and inside linebackers coach, talks NFL next here on the Jason Walker Show.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. In the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave. Anything you need done inside, outside the house, with the house. Above All Handyman Services. They will offer a 10% discount on a paint job up to $250 if you mention the Jason Walker Show. Got some results from the Score de Cam held at Vigilante. Capital Boys winning. Gallatin, CMR second and third, and then on the girls side you got Helena High girls outpacing Bozeman and Skyview in the top three. And some fantastic events and times in those events. And I had it pulled up. Here we go. But that was held on Saturday. So congratulations, Helena High girls. Just keep rolling. So, all right, this segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn in Helena. Well, it was a great weekend for a bunch of Bobcats and a couple of former Grizz heading off signing with the NFL or drafted in the NFL. And one of those included Troy Anderson, of course, second-round draft pick for the Atlanta Falcons, Daniel Hardy going in the 7th round. And a couple of interesting stories as we got the chance to check in with former Bobcat coach Jeff Choate, who's recruiting down in Texas for the University of Texas. And Coach Choate joins us now here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, Coach, you and I were just chatting, but spring ball's done, but recruiting never ends, and you're out on the road. Where are you at?
I'm actually in South Houston right now.
Okay. Is Texas your area?
I have me in Dallas, Fort Worth. I have an area in Houston, and then I have kind of the Rocky Mountain West,
which you know very well, and that includes a couple of guys that were just signed, drafted, slashed, all to the NFL. How cool was it to see Troy Anderson get his name called?
Oh man, I think it was awesome. I think it just, I think the coolest thing to me was the stories behind these guys that probably not a lot of people know. You know, like you look at, like, everybody knows everything about Troy and everybody wants to talk about Troy. Troy's a Montana kid. But I can remember going to watch, my son was playing for the Bozeman Hawks, and it was Jory was a junior, Lance was a senior. Callahan O'Reilly was the quarterback, okay? And Lance was not really on our radar. He was kind of a frontier basketball recruit. And because he hadn't played a lot of football. And I just remember every single game, this guy either had a circus catch in the end zone for a touchdown or a critical interception. And I kept going back to Matt. I'm like, look, dude, this guy's in our own backyard, and he is having a ridiculous season. We need to go on him. And then, ironically, he kind of had to wait his turn a little bit, but you saw it at the end of the 2019 season. Playing against Albany in particular, we had a couple of those just ridiculous 50-50 balls that he made catches and touchdowns on, and that was his whole season this year. So, like, for a kid who was not even on Montana State's radar, to work himself into an opportunity to play in the National Football League is a heck of a story.
Yep.
And then you look at a kid like Daniel Hardy. I mean, Daniel played 1 year of high school football. He was a basketball player. And then was at the College of Siskiyou, and he was a spot player on defense, and he really caught our eye on special teams covering kicks. We bring him on a trip. His father passes away, like, right about that same time. He ends up coming to Montana State, and the rest is history. And again, at the end of the 2019 season, he was kind of a rotational guy and a special teams guy for us in 18 and 19. But at the end of the 2019 season, when Troy got hurt and didn't play in those last 4 games, that's when Daniel really started to emerge. And then obviously had a phenomenal senior year. And, you just keep going, right? Lewis Kidd.
Yeah.
Lewis Kidd was committed to Montana, right? Lewis Kidd's committed to the University of Montana. We sign him as a defensive lineman, plays D-line for us a year, red shirts, then transitions, and was basically a fixture on the offensive line at Montana State for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And, went through his mom having breast cancer and struggling with whether it was the right thing to do to stay at Montana State or to go back home and support his mom. And, it's just, a heck of a neat story, and, super proud of all those guys. And, it's a neat deal. And I'm not so sure that we wouldn't have had more guys in 2020 ended up getting opportunities had they not, but they couldn't do anything, right? They never got to have a pro day. Kevin Cassis, obviously Travis Johnson ends up making an and winning a Super Bowl. But I think it's like I said, it's the stories that nobody knows. Me talking to Nicole Anderson after Troy comes to camp and we offer him, and she's like, well, gosh, I don't know if he's good enough to play at Montana State. We were thinking he'd just go to Western. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to let that happen, and, so it's just a testament, I think, to these young men and who they are and their families and the support that they had. But I also think that in a unique way, those guys all being there together really elevated each other. You know, they had to bring it, whether it was in practice individual, whether it was in a crossover drill, whether it was in the weight room, and that brought the best out in them. And I think it's a pretty unique, I don't know what the history book says, but I'm not sure there's ever been this many guys that have had an opportunity to play pro football in one class from Montana State. Yeah. And I think that's a testament to the job that our staff did in recruiting and identifying these guys, a testament to these young men and the work that they put in and their family support, and the job that we did developing them. And I don't think it was just on the field, Jason. I think the real development, what we really poured into these kids, was the culture that we built about bringing the best out in them. It's not about the product. It's about the process. It's about developing a mighty moral code, standing for things that you believe in, being a servant leader. Those were the things that program was built on. And I think those kids really bought into that, and it helped them to kind of become their best selves.
Yeah, no, I agree. As we talk with Jeff Choate here, the Texas co-defensive coordinator, linebackers coach as well, out recruiting now and talking about some of his former players at Montana State. It's just cool. And, you know, we knew Troy was going to get drafted. I mean, we knew his freshman year he was the best linebacking prospect and the Big Sky playing running back and quarterback. But, I mean, like you mentioned, the other stories with Lewis Kidd and Daniel Hardy, what a great job by the Rams. And, the PR on Twitter has just been absolutely insane with the phone call. And what so many great stories, like you said.
Yeah, this is a dream come true for these kids. And it's the 2% of the 2% that get to do this. And quite honestly, I've had the good fortune to coach a lot of young men that had the opportunity to go on and play. I've coached a handful of first-round draft picks. And, I'm not sure that any of them were more meaningful and impactful. When you're the head coach and you get to really have a strong hand in kind of developing these kids both on and off the field, I think this is pretty special for me to see these guys achieve their goals.
And I know it's the Cats, but, Samari Torre getting drafted as well, a guy that you coached against at Montana. What a great talent after he went to Nebraska. You saw him for a long time. But all these kids from the state of Montana, whether they played here or grew up here, just what a great opportunity. But which one stands out to you from the Cats that you're most proud of, probably, outside of Troy?
I think Daniel. Daniel had to do it. The hardship, like I said, his father passes away.
Yep.
He has to make this decision to go to Bozeman, Montana, and comes to Bozeman. And first of all, he's a phenomenal young man. There's nobody that would ever have anything negative to say about Daniel. And I think that honestly, the scheme change under Coach Deegan probably benefited Daniel the most out of all of these guys, because Lance would have been our target anyway. Offensively, I really didn't think they changed that much on offense. We probably ran a more variety in the run game, but they were still vertical run, vertical pass. And without Kevin Cassis and Travis Johnson being there, I think Lance would have gotten those targets too. And but he maximized it, man. The guy made unbelievable catch after unbelievable catch. That guy did an unbelievable job. But Daniel really kind of came out of nowhere, right?
Right.
And I think, again, I think Sean Heron, and before him, Alex Wilcox, those guys in the strength and conditioning area at Montana State, Sean Heron being a Helena kid, those guys do a phenomenal job there. Brittany Johnson, Brittany Patera, and the commitment to nutrition that Leon and the administration made at Montana State. It's that holistic development, right? This doesn't happen in a vacuum. It takes a lot of people to help young men achieve their goals to get to the highest level. And I think that there's just a different commitment there at Montana State now, certainly than there was when I got there. And I think Leon deserves a lot of credit for that. I think that, I think we worked really well together to try to drive things, and you're seeing that play out in men's and women's basketball and all over the board there at Montana State right now.
A couple of final quick points for you here and questions for you here, but what would you be advice for these guys that now have to prove themselves at that next level to make the roster?
The same advice I give every freshman that comes into my room, which is keep your pads down your eyes and ears open and your mouth shut. Just go to work. Just go to work. The same things that got them the opportunity are going to be the things that allow them to make a team and break a lineup. And it's, so much of it in the NFL, it is a business, and that will be hard for those guys sometimes to really wrap their head around. So you gotta separate yourself. And I always used to tell these guys this story. I was at OTAs with the Seahawks one year, and it was the last day of OTAs. So they had it was rookie mini camp. So you had all of these guys, none of them had signed free agent deals, none of them had been drafted. They were all guys that were there for a 3-day tryout, right? To see if they would get invited back to a longer camp. And the guy at the end, the special teams coordinator got up and let one of the veterans talk that happened to be in the facility working out. And his advice was, he goes, just wait for it to get hard. Just wait for it to get hard, and then you grab a gear. Like, that's what it takes to make it in this league. Is when everybody else starts to fade, when everybody else starts to, you see their body language start to, they got their hands on their hips or they're leaning over, that's when you grab a gear. And that's what it's going to take for these guys, especially these guys that are undrafted free agents. They're going to have to do exceptional things.
Well, hey, man, it's I know you're a busy guy out on the road. Appreciate the time, and hope all is well, because you've got quite the following still up here in Montana, and we're still proud of you, and we still claim you. So, good luck.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, Jason. I would hope so. I think I left that place in pretty good shape, and Coach Vegan and his staff obviously did a tremendous job this year. So I think the future's still bright for the Bobcats, and I'm really proud of the work that we were able to do during the time we were there.
Yeah, you should be. Hey, congratulations, and good luck. Stay safe out there on the road, and have fun in the fall.
All right, bud. Take care. Go Cats and hook 'em.
Jeff Choate joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm hotline. It's not just a bundle. It's your home, it's your auto, it's your life. Mike understands that. Get hold of Mike Miller State Farm in Helena today. Coach Choate doing well. And just, it's so much fun to talk with him because he's just a passionate dude. And great advice. And just it was fun to catch up with him this morning. And while he had just left a practice recruiting and called us back and I mean, you could tell how proud he is. He's like a proud dad, and that's what coaches are. They're like proud dads and moms, if they're a female coach. But yeah, you could hear the excitement in his voice. And I know all the talks about Troy Anderson, and deservedly so. I mean, 2nd-round draft pick. We all know his accolades. But to hear the stories about a Louis kid or a Daniel Hardy or Lance McCutcheon, not even on a Montana State radar, just down the road there at Bozeman High. There's been some good ones come out of Bozeman High over the years, too. And Lance is a good one. He's going to have a great chance. I mean, you think about that Rams team, right? Super Bowl champs. You've got Matthew Stafford now with Cooper Kupp and Lance McCutcheon, 2 Big Sky wide receivers. That's pretty awesome. And hopefully Lance can make that roster. And, maybe McCutcheon becomes that guy that takes some pressure off Cooper Kupp, right? And then you got Daniel Hardy on the other side. So you got some Big Sky players in LA, and it's hard not to become a Rams fan now, right? Are you a Falcons fan now, or I can never root for Tampa Bay, but you've got Travis Johnson there, you've got Dylan Cook, so, and Trey Webb's going to have a chance, former Bobcat, and where does Louis Kidd, end up? It's just pretty cool. So thanks to Coach Choate. Let's see. Results of the Score de Cam in Helena on Saturday. Thomas Carter of Capital winning the boys 100. Ava Roberts of Skyview, the girls. In the 200, Thomas Carter of Capital. Odessa Zentz of Helena High. In the 400, CMR's Rafe Primo. Odessa Zentz winning for Helena High on the girls' side. Nathan Neal of Bozeman, the 8. Haley Burns of Bozeman makes it a sweep. 1600, Ryan Harrington of Great Falls. Kylie Hartnett of Helena. 3200, McGuire Palmer from GFH. Sarah Wheeler from Bozeman. The 110 hurdles, Archie Laferge of CMR. Logan Todorovich of Helena. 300 hurdles, Tyler Gilman, Gallatin, and Helena's Rachel Plaster. 4x100 relay boys, Gallatin. Girls side, Helena High. And let's see, the 4x4. Capitals, boys get it done. while the Helena High girls win. And then shot put, Forrest Suero of Helena High, Sydney Matfeld of Helena High. Discus, Josh Goldman of Helena, Sydney Matfeld of Helena. Marcus Evans wins the javelin from Helena High. The girls' side goes to Bozeman's Clara Fox. I watched her grow up. Great family, the Fox family down in Bozeman. Gallatin Gateway area. High jump, Garrett Coley of Gallatin. Girls' side, Hannah Schoenhoff of Bozeman. Pole vault goes to Alex Briscoe with a new PR, clearing 15 feet for Capital. Madison Claus of Skyview on the girls' side. Long jump goes to Jace Appleby from Bozeman. You talk about a great athlete. Girls' side, Keisha Farmer of Gray Falls. Triple jump, Farmer makes it a double. Gavin Grosnick of CMR on the boys' side. So congratulations to all the winners at the Score to Cam. That is a fantastic, fantastic track meet. And the Capital boys, Helena High girls getting it done on the team scores. All right, quick break. We'll come back. Speaking of high school, softball is entering its final month. Well, so is all this spring sports. But we'll talk to Ryan Schulte of Helena High. They tied and lost over the weekend, playing 2 games in Great Falls. We'll talk to him next. The second segment of the Jason Walker Show, brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. Ryan Schulte and your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week all coming up. Hang on.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of the Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
This is the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Final segment on a Monday. Your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week just around the corner. There was some good softball over the weekend. The East-West crossover up in Great Falls. And joining us now to talk about his team and look ahead to a busy upcoming week is the head coach of the Helena High Bengals, Ryan Schulte, joining us. Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline.
All right, Coach. So you and I were just chatting, but kind of a weird weekend. Instead of playing Great Falls High, you ended up playing Belgrade. We'll talk about that in a second. But you tied CMR, which wasn't supposed to happen, but with the 7 innings and everything, and since it doesn't count towards the standings, a 1-1 game. But you've got to be pleased with how well you guys played.
Yeah, I really was. I mean, if you look at the numbers from that game, I think a couple of things stand out to me. We pitched all 3 of our pitchers, and Mallory started us off, and then we went to Faith and finished with Riley, and they were phenomenal. They were lights out in that game. We had 1 walk in the entire thing, and they just combined to pitch a really, really solid game. CMR scored in the 2nd inning on kind of a little bit of a fluke play. We didn't throw the ball around, but it was a tough play that we ended up making an overthrow on, and they scored on that. But other than that, we were lights out defensively. I was really proud of the way we played defensively. Made some big plays. I think that our outfielders, I think they robbed 2 home runs in that game, and all of our infielders, left their feet and knocked balls down. We just played really gritty defensively, and then our pitchers kind of matched that in the circle. And then offensively, we just we kind of continued to go through this where we hit the ball hard, and we hit the ball hard pretty consistently. Hit it at him a lot, and Kylie Wetzel, I think, had 2 that she just screamed line drives that she hit right back to the pitcher. So it's just one of those things that. We continue to hit the ball hard and hope that it finds grass.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, that's what they say in the sports of softball and baseball is just, you keep hitting it and eventually you're going to get some drops to go. Whether it's a Texas leaguer or a bloop or something, and that just fires up everybody else. But and then that Belgrade game, take me through that. I mean, the defending, they've won four straight state titles from Class A to AA, but that's a really good softball team you guys played.
They are, and they're just fundamentally very good. One of those things that we came out and, again, we threw all 3 pitchers. And, I think we weren't quite as sharp in the second one in the circle. We had 2 innings that I think, we just didn't throw enough strikes and put girls and gave up 3 bases and credit Belgrade. They took advantage of it. But as far as, at the plate, and I thought in that game that the young gal that pitched from Belgrade, she throws hard and has a decent changeup. And again, I just keep going back to, we're hitting the ball and we're putting in play and giving ourselves a chance. And Belgrade made some great plays in that game to keep us from stringing some together. So, but like we talked about after the game, we played Belgrade, 3 weeks ago and lost 13-3, and in 5. And so, to come back out and battle through some adversity in the 2nd and 3rd inning, and to keep, kind of chipping away or trying to chip away. Again, we talk about this is a season long thing that we want to show growth every day. And I think that was a game that we can look at and say, hey, you know what? We've gotten better and we've improved. And, that's what we ask of them. And that's all you can really ask. Do you go out and get better and do you compete every day? And they have, and they showed that on Saturday.
Talking with Helena High softball coach Ryan Schulte on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. You hit the ball, you can only do so much. And if defense is lights out, like, CMR and Belgrade, that definitely comes into play. But it's better than striking out. And at least, like you said, you're giving yourself a chance to make something good happen. And that could turn around and pay dividends this week. You've got 3 big games this week, all in conference, starting tomorrow night at Butte. Take me through the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Butte came out, and that's, again, another one that we need to gauge where, how much have we gotten better. And when we played them the first time, they beat us pretty handily. We kind of started off slow in that one and gave up too many free bases to start. And then that was at a point in time where I didn't really feel like where we got in and we gave our best swings. And I feel like we're doing that at this point in time, but I don't know who Coach Stosis will pitch from over there, but he's got two good ones. And I expect, that the Bulldogs, they're going to be ready to go. And, but I'm really excited about the way that the girls have improved. And again, we want to talk about kind of measuring sticks along the way. And we turned over to the second half, and, there's some teams that beat us in that first half, and that we need to see, are we going to go out and find a way to compete with those teams that beat us? And then, just let you flip that around, never being satisfied with just one win against those teams that we did beat in the first half of conference play. So the Bulldogs are going to be, I think it'll be a really good game. We're both sitting we're in that 3-4 spot. And so it's a big one as far as a mover in the standing.
Yeah. And then it comes up this weekend too, with Friday, Saturday with Glacier and Flathead back to back. These are big games. I mean, we're in the final month of the season. The state tournament is coming up in a month. But you guys have to get some wins to solidify that upper 4 spot. But they're all big from here on out. And they, with Glacier and Flathead, what can we expect at home this weekend?
Well, Glacier kind of started off, they beat both Great Falls schools, and then they struggled. I know they had a young gal get hurt, who's a really good player for them, the Gaudette girl. And she didn't play against us the last time. She plays a great second base, and she's one of their better hitters. And I'm assuming she'll be back at this point in time. And, their pitcher, Ella Farrell, is a good one. She was just struggling to find the zone a little bit there in the first half of the season. And I think she had a nice weekend up in Great Falls where she did a lot better. And so, again, Glacier's getting better and they're improving. And I expect to see a very good team come in on Friday afternoon. And that's good for us. We want to play these good teams in our conference, and because that's where we can get better, and that's where we can, get tested and show a little bit of grit and resilience, or be forced to show a little grit and resilience. And I'm really looking forward to that one when we get into past this Butte one. But they're going to be much improved, and I think the girls know that. I think the girls know that that's a team that's probably better than they played us the last time. And so I think they'll be ready for that one. And then you turn around and you play Flathead on Saturday morning. And, Flathead's one of those teams that, they're streaky, and they're certainly not incapable of beating good teams. I mean, I know that they're not maybe as good in the circle as some other teams, but I'll tell you right now, again, I think Jack does a good job of those teams get better every year. And as the year progresses, and I know we'll see their pitchers improved, and I think up and down their lineup, I think they're going to be, we're going to see better bats this time around, just because everybody does tend to get better. So, again, as you turn it around, don't be satisfied with where you were when you beat a team. You got to find a way to get your level up and go out and execute it at an even higher level the second time around.
Did you watch the NFL draft at all?
A little bit. I watched Draft Day, actually, instead of watching the draft. I like that Kevin Costner movie.
That is a great movie.
No, it is a fantastic movie. So, no, I didn't get a ton into it. When I get home from softball practice, the last thing that my wife and I are going to probably do is sit down and watch more athletic stuff. So I think there was also a kids' baseball game that night. So didn't quite have the opportunity to just soak it all in.
Well, it's pretty cool. You got 5 cats, a couple of former Grizz, and heading off to the NFL, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, that's a really cool deal. I was a little disappointed that our guy Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame dropped to a 14, but then you turn around and you look at it. Well, I'm okay that he's playing for Baltimore, though. That's a little better organization than, say, the Jets or something like that. So well, I'm okay with it.
There is that. All right. So who do you root for in baseball?
I'm a Sox fan. I'm a Red Sox fan.
Okay. All right.
And there ain't much to root for there right now. They're a team that, it's just like, they're so hot and cold, and they can't figure out they're not managing their entire organization real well right now. I don't think, at least reading that on the fan blogs, there's some frustration, but no, just not playing very well. Not a real exciting team to watch. So I'll get more into that into the summer and follow them a little bit closer, but I'm hoping they can I'm hoping they can give me something to cheer for during those dog days.
Wait, as long as you're not a Yankees fan, that's good. So
absolutely not. A guy walked by me in church yesterday, and he had his Yankees gear on, like his Yankees coat, and it wasn't pinstripe, thank God, or else I might have had to have come out of the pew to talk to him about it. But no, that Yankee blue just is disappointing. It's just not a. My brother's a Yankees fan. My grandfather was a Yankees fan all the way back to Yogi Berra, and I just couldn't go that route. There was no way.
Well, good for you. You know, I cheered for the Red Sox until about 2011, and then I kind of got over it. But I've been a Mets fan since '84, so I have.
And that 30 for 30 on the Mets is fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely need to because that '86 team was. They were out there a little bit.
They were. You'll really like that 30 for 30. It's fantastic.
Well, I'm going to like it when you get 3 wins this week. So we have a lot of positives to talk about next Monday. So let's do it tomorrow, starting at Butte, and then 2 big home games this week with Glacier and Flathead. Coach, appreciate the time as always, and enjoy the week and good luck.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Jason. Thank you.
That is Ryan Schulte joining us, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline, and all of our guests appear via the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. There was, let's do your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. It's tough. It's tough. Do you give it to the Atlanta Falcons? Capital Boys, Helena High Girls, Dakota Louis. Man, there was some good performances. I think I got to go. As Flint Rasmussen would say, the riding sensation from the Blackfeet Nation, Dakota Louis, our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week, getting his first Unleash the Beast PBR Tour win and doing it in Billings at Metro Park in front of a huge, huge crowd, especially family members. And the 2011 Browning High School grad, who we've had on the show before, did it well and moved up from 39th to 22nd in the world standings and heads off in 2 weeks down now to take care of business at the World Finals down there in Texas. So Dakota Louis, our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. If you need your performance, I mean, these guys are the auto enhancement professionals. Auto Concepts does it all. They make your vehicle look amazing with details, like literally detailing it inside and out. And it's the work they do. Car stereos, you forget about car stereos nowadays because I used to sell them like 30 years ago almost in Bozeman. And Auto Concepts installs. They do lift kits. They do it all. Clear bras, got to have a clear bra, right? Bumper guard, cattle guards, grill guard, you got to get it done. Auto Concepts, your auto enhancement professionals here in Helena. All right, on this day in history, it is brought to you by us. It is Melanoma Monday. It is National Life Insurance Day, Mike Miller State Farm, and National Truffle Day today. I got to get some water. Throat's dry today. On this date in 1876, Ross Barnes would hit the first home run ever in the National League. The first game of Negro League Baseball was played on this date in 1920 in Indianapolis. 1923, Washington Senator pitcher Walter the Big Train Johnson with his 100th shutout. Teams nowadays couldn't get close to 100 shutouts in 10 years. 1939, the great Lou Gehrig would end his consecutive game streak at 2,130. Yankees won that day, by the way, like 22-2. On this date in 2011, Osama bin Laden was killed by Rob O'Neill from Butte in Pakistan, Abbottabad, Pakistan, ending a long search that went back to the 90s for this guy. And our hats off to that military that got that done. No question about that. It is Military Appreciation Month, by the way, as well. All right, let's do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off is presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. And it is the absolute
best Cajun food this side of New Orleans. Messaging a friend right now because what we're going to talk about here in the walk-off is extremely important. And it has to do with the fact that as soon as we're done, we're going to head down to Boulder tonight at 7 p.m., Jefferson High Gymnasium. Why? A special board meeting has been called, and I believe that a right will be wrong. We talked about it a lot last week and a little bit the week before, but Clint Lang, who was on the show last Tuesday, originally not rehired by the Jefferson High School Board, and I think tonight we're going to have a Hoosiers moment, and I think tonight Clint Lang gets his job back, and as he should. And I think the school board really has no other choice but to get it done tonight. Hundreds of letters have come in support of Coach Lang, and I think it happens. I think he comes back as head coach. And he wants it. He said it on the show last week. For the kids. He wants to come back and coach these kids in the fall. And we'll see what happens. We'll let you know on social media right away. But he should be hired back tonight. So that will be an amazing reversal, in my opinion, if it happens, and it should. It absolutely should. Big fun today, talking NFL draft with Jeff Choate. That was fun to catch up with the old coach, right? Okay. I mean, he's just a positive dude, and always loved our conversations when he was at Montana State. And he's just a great coach, and out recruiting down there in Texas. Dude's got an eye for talent, right? Lance McCutcheon, Troy Anderson, Lewis Kidd, Daniel Hardy. I mean, he's got a pretty good eye for talent. Callahan O'Reilly, who's still at MSU. Yeah. Good stuff. If you missed it, our Auto Contest Performance of the Week, Browning Cowboy Dakota Louis for winning the PBR down in Billings. There were some good performances down there, and now they get a couple weeks off before their World Finals. So, yep. It is. It's coming fast. So is the end of the show. Got to have a quick dinner and get down to Boulder. The walk-off, presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Stop in if you are a member of the military, fire, law enforcement, paramedics. Get your drinks for free. Cafe Zydeco takes care of those that take care of us. We'll do it again tomorrow, and we're going to have some fun on a Tuesday in May, right? Here in the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave. If you missed anything, go to jasonwalkershow.com. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Have yourself a magnificent Monday, and don't forget, we'll keep you updated tonight, live, what happens down at Jefferson. Good luck to Coach Lang.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.